All right, so for today's review, we are going to be taking a look at the Wera Kraftform Precision Screwdrivers. Now, I decided to recently pick these guys up. You may or may not have seen the unboxing of them on the channel, but I decided to pick them up because I was wanting to try something a little bit different. Previously, I had been using a Klein 4-in-1 precision screwdriver, but just kind of got tired of it. I've been using it for a while. I have a couple different versions of these, and just decided that I wanted to go ahead and try something different. So here are all the precision screwdrivers that I have. Now, one thing to note, I did pick up this 4mm slotted screwdriver. For some reason, I thought that the 3mm slotted wasn't going to be big enough. I'll show you what I mean here in a minute, but I did add this guy to the set. I think it was like an additional $12, $13 just for this one screwdriver. So that is not part of the set, but the set that I picked up has 4 slotted and 3 Phillips. Now you get a 3mm slotted, which for some reason I thought this guy wasn't going to be big enough, but you get a 3mm slotted, and then you get a 2.5mm slotted, and then you get a 2mm slotted, and then you get a 1.5mm slotted. This guy is the 1.2. or the 1.5 and the 2.0 are probably going to be ones that I don't really use that frequently. I don't really work with anything this small. So these guys, definitely not something I'm going to be using. But if you do buy this kit, you do get them. So if this is something that you do use, they are included in this kit. And then you get a Phillips number 1. Which again, if I'm going to be using a Phillips number 1, I'm most likely going to be using a little bit larger of a screwdriver. But if you do like to use a precision driver, maybe you're not, needing to put as much torque or tighten something down super tight, this little guy will probably work just fine for you. So this set does come with a Phillips number 1, and then you get a Phillips number 0, which is probably one of my most used Phillips out of this set. Some of the small screws on thermostats and things of that nature are generally a Phillips number 0. And then this kit also does feature a Phillips 00, which you do sometimes run into in heating and cooling for, again, low voltage and thermostats, things of that nature. So these mainly are the two that I rock in my bag. And then I do rock these two slotted right here, mainly the 3.0 being my most used. And these guys are relatively nice. It's that more traditional style Wera handle, but you do get that longer of a length, so you can hold it in your hand, and the top of it spins. So if you can hold it in your hand and tighten and or loosen a screw. Now, all the screwdrivers are pretty much marked with what they are, and it's kind of hard to see. I didn't realize this at first, but after some looking at the screwdrivers, you can kind of see there is a date code right there. So all of these screwdrivers were made in 2024. And like I said, you got that traditional Wera, that design, which is super comfortable in your hands with the larger screwdrivers. You have the Wera name, and then you have I believe this is the individual part number for the screwdriver if you wanted to just buy a single screwdriver. And then you have the sizes right there. And then the slotted, they all have this yellow ring around them to identify them as the slotted. So if you had them sticking up in your tool bag, you can easily identify them. Hey, the ones that are yellow are the slotted, and the ones that are red are the Phillips. And there is nothing on the top of the cap, but the top does rotate, which is nice. Kind of like similar to the Klein, it's got that spinning cap on the top of it, so you can just hold in the palm of your hand and tighten and or loosen. But it is just, Wera's version of it. Now, I decided to go with these over the Klein because I was kind of sick and tired of changing out the bits and stuff. And, it seems like every time I change out a bit, I end up dropping it. Or sometimes when you're tightening down some screws, the screws and the bit just fit so well together that when you go to pull the screwdriver off, especially like with these Kleins, you go to pull the screwdriver off, you end up pulling the bit with it, and sometimes you don't notice that right away. So that's kind of why I decided I was going to try just some basic dedicated screwdrivers for precision work. Now here's some of the stuff that I use these guys on. Now these are all mainly going to be slotted. I don't really have a thermostat currently that has any Phillips size screws on it, but this is mainly what I use these little precision drivers for. This is a Molex plug off of a communicating or like an Infinity system or Evolution system. Bryant carrier system where it's got the fancy thermostat and things of that nature, and this guy pretty much runs the whole entire, this plug in the thermostat, wires hooked up to it, pretty much runs the entire furnace. It's pretty crazy how it all works. But nonetheless, this is what I use to tighten and loosen thermostat wires when I run into these systems. And that 3.5, kind of hard to see there on camera if we can get it to focus, is that 3 millimeter is pretty much a perfect fit for that. And I just feel like it's a lot these are a lot comfortable in the hands. I like that raised ridge there on Wera screwdrivers, especially these precision ones, where I can just push my 2 index and my thumb and just, you know, loosen and or tighten those terminals down on there. So that's one of the things that I use these guys for. Another one, like I said, thermostats here. This is just an old Honeywell thermostat that I took off of a customer's house. We were changing it out, putting a much fancier stat on than this guy. I think they just had this temporarily on there. But again, these are those small little terminals where this, you know, this screwdriver comes in handy for tightening and loosening them. Now, I did say that I bought this 4 millimeter slotted, thinking that that 3 was going to be too big, and boy, was I wrong. So here's that Molex plug again. Here is that that 4.0 slotted, and this guy doesn't it doesn't fit in those recessed holes where the screws are hiding out. So this guy is pretty much totally useless to me. Like I said, for some reason I just didn't put 2 and 2 together that this was going to be a lot larger than that 3. And considering that I unboxed a 3.5 millimeter insulated slotted screwdriver, I should have thought, hey, if that guy just fits in here, this 4.0 probably is not going to fit in there. But it is what it is. I picked it up. Probably never going to really see use from me, but I have it just in case I need it. But these are going to be my 4 most used out of the set. Now, it was kind of surprising when I unboxed this, that these screwdrivers did come in just, you know, a plain white box. There was no case with them, because the majority of the time when you buy Wera screwdrivers, they come in like, you know, a nice box, and they have that fabric case that they do like to have them in. So that was kind of a shock for these. But overall, they're definitely some nice little screwdrivers. Now, Wera screwdrivers are not for everybody. Some people don't like how they feel in their hands. They don't like the different sizes that some of the screwdrivers some of the screwdrivers come in, so that is kind of up to you and your personal preference. Like I said, I was just looking to try out something different over this Klein that I've been using for a while. I just wanted to try something different, and I am happy to say that I'm happy with these guys so far. Now, if you did see the review I did of the tool pouch that I was carrying around, that Wera tool pouch that I believe I unboxed in the same video as these, I do have a few of these guys hanging out in that tool pouch, and that tool pouch is probably one of the best things that I've bought so far. It's just always nice and handy to have all those screwdrivers right there on your hip and ready to use. You don't gotta go digging through your tool bag looking for the stuff. That's kind of why I decided to pick that up. And it's nice to have those precision drivers, because you don't always need them right away, but it is nice to just have them on hand and ready to go with the rest of your screwdrivers. And with that being said, that's kind of all I have for this video. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. And also in the description below, there will be some links where you can find out some more information about these precision drivers from Wera, and there will also be some links down in the description below if you are looking to add these to your tool lineup, or you're maybe looking to try something different. There'll be some links down in the description below where you can purchase this set if you want to try it out for yourself. But with that being said, that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching.